Today we'll be understanding about some basic concepts of statistics. So let's understand what is the definition of statistics. So here you see statistics provide us the methods to organize and summarize data. Now we will be seeing what is the definition of statistics first, and then we will also understand about data, the term data. All right. So first let's understand what is statistics. Let's say you are performing an experiment. All right. You are performing an experiment, and from this experiment you will be having some sort of results. Now to perform this experiment you must have some amount of data. You will be utilizing that data to perform this experiment, and after performing this experiment you will have the results. So you see, in both of these cases these are all about data. You will collect data to perform experiment, and after performing the experiment you will have the results, and that is also the data. Even though I'll be describing you about the data, but to understand um, the function or the um, usefulness of statistics, here I am telling you that this is the whole scenario, this is the whole process, right? So what exactly is statistics in here? That is, you see, the methods to organize and summarize the data. This organization and summarization of data should be of the data that you are collecting or getting after performing the experiment as a result. And also before performing the experiment you will have to collect the data, and that data should also need to be organized and summarized. So this is what this slide is trying to say. In the next part it is saying that based on the information contained in this data, statistics can help to draw meaningful conclusions from it. So basically the based on the information contained is in this data means what kind of methods you will be going to perform to summarize or organize your results or your experiment. That should be depending on the type of data. We'll be also seeing what is the type of data. All right, so here in this slide this is already mentioned that it offers a ways or methods to analyze the data in which the result of any given experiment can be understood. All right, so the main thing here you must have to focus on, that is, even though the statistical tools or the statistic itself can be uh, termed as a tool, all right, to perform these various kind of um, summarization or analytical process. So statistics itself gives us a suggestion, so how the experiment can be performed, so we can reduce the chance of having the variations. So it means, see, I said that data must be needed to perform the experiments. So in that case statistics is not only helping these data to be analyzed and organized, but what kind of techniques or methods, what kind of methods you need to perform so that your experiment should be done in a proper way, is also depending on the data that you are collecting at the very first time. So based on the contents of these data the methods will be determined. All right, so statistics is the whole process that is controlling or depending on which you are going to proceed with your further experiments. Now, the next point we must understand is the population and the sample. What is a population and what is sample? As you see, a well-defined collection of object is called population. What do you mean by this? It means, let's say, a well-defined collection of object. Let's say if for in your case, if you are collecting the um, objects such as the students who are studying bioinformatics in a specific university. This is university, let's say U1. In this university, some students are studying bioinformatics. So you want to collect the whole population. For in that case, this is the population. If you are selecting only this one university, in that case, this is your object, collection of object, and this is your population. You can also collect, let's say you want to collect the informations about the students studying in universities, studying in different universities, bioinformatics, in a specific region, let's say in a specific state. In a specific state, there are different universities. Universities 1, this is 2, 3, this is 4. There are different universities, and in these universities there are several students studying bioinformatics. In this case also, you are collecting the population. This is your object. Alright. So see, in this case, this group of object is called the population. But in this case, this is your collected object or population. It depends on your aspect or the type of analysis you want to perform. Now, from this population, we can extract some group, or you say we can collect a subset. We can collect a subset. So, from this population, group of population, if we are collecting some of them, this should be the sample. Why sample is collected from the population? It's because it is because for the ease of performing the experiment, you can see. So sample is collected or selected in very specific manner. Yes, this is also important because when you are selecting these samples from this population, it depends what type of methods you are applying. In case of selecting the samples, it should be random sampling or some other process. It depends on what type of experiments you are interested to perform, and there are several types of sampling methods. So this is the concept of population and sample. Now let's see the next thing, that is the characteristics. See, characteristics can be categorical or numerical. What is the meaning of characteristics? Characteristics means the objects, group of objects. See, the group of objects, right? The group of objects that we call the population. Alright, that we call the population, and from this population, if we are collecting a subset of population, then we are calling it the sample. Now the point is, in each of this sample is also going to be the collection of objects, right? So in each of these objects, there should be certain characters that you are interested on. For an example, let's say we are collecting the information of the students, those who are studying bioinformatics in a university. So in that case, if you are interested to collect the information of the gender of those students, so gender in this case should be one character. If you want to know how many number of publications individual students are having, so that should be also another characteristics, number of publications. All right, then what is the marks they are getting in their exams? So see, this is the object here, collection of object, or you can also say the sample here, or the population, anything it can be. And in individual case, you are interested to understand or to extract information, and that is the character. All right, so we need to observe only certain characteristics of an object within the populations. Obviously we are interested to observe to certain characteristics. If you are when you are performing the experiment, if you need to know about the number of publications for those students, number of marks they are getting, in that case this should be your characteristics. Now a characteristics can be categorical or numerical. How? Characteristics can be categorical or numerical means, let's say we are saying the number of marks they are getting, so marks should be in numbers, in numerical forms, let's say 79 or 80 or 99, whatever it is, anything it can be. So this is numerical value. And if we are interested in understanding the categorical characteristics or categorical nature of the characteristics, let's say in case of gender, so either they should be male, female, likewise. So this is not the numerical value, these are the categorical value, and these are the numerical value, that is why these are numerical nature. Now, so what is variable? So as of now we are talking about the characteristics. Characteristics are something that is we are interested to observe within a population. Now these individual characteristics should be the variable. When we are discussing about the group of population, group of students who are studying bioinformatics in the university, in this example the variable is the characteristics that we are interested on. It can be the gender, it can be the marks of the students, it can be the height of the students, it can be anything. So these are individual characters, and variable is nothing but these characteristics, that is whose value can change from one object to the other object in a population. Definitely, let's say there is 5 students, and if you are taking only one single characteristics, let's say marks, you are taking the marks, so marks is a single characteristics, and this is also a variable. So if marks is a variable, so maybe number 1 is getting 90, number 2 is getting 81, number 3 is getting 88, number 4 is getting 90 again, number 5 is getting, let's say, 89, whatever. These are the values of only a single variable. The variable is marks here, and these are the individual values, and these individual values, you see, these individual values are differing. These individual values are differing from one another. If you are taking categorical value, let's say gender, in that case also, one student is maybe male, another one is also male, the roll number 3 can be female, 4 can be female also, 5 can again be male. It depends, it varies from one object. These are individual object, this is object 1, this is object 2, likewise. So from object to object, the values of the variables can differ. Variables are the characteristics. We are taking single characteristics here, let's say marks, gender, height, whatever it is, and the values for that single characteristic can differ. Next is what is data. So we understood what is a variable and characteristics, what is the meaning of categorical and numerical variable. Now let's see what is the data. Data is something that we can have upon making observations on either single variable or two or more variables. Means if we are having the variables, that is our characteristics. Now in these variables, data should be the observation that we are making upon one or more variables. If we are making observations in one variable only, it can happen that we are taking only a single variable for that group of object, or only a single characteristic for a group of object. It can also happen that we are taking two different variables or two characteristics at a time and observing them for that group of object or that group of population. It can also happen we are observing more than like two variables. So if we are taking more than two variables or more than two characteristics and interested on extracting the information of individual objects present in that population, that is another type of data. So data is representing the number of characteristics or variables whose informations we want to extract. So if we are having only a single variable, there should be a name for it. So let's see, go to the next slide. Now you see the univariate, bivariate and multivariate. So as I was telling you that variable should be based on the numbers, like data should be based on the numbers. If you are understanding or extracting the information from the group of population or sample or object, and it is based on only a single characteristic or variable, then that should be called univariate. Alright. If the same thing you are doing but for two different variables, then this should be called the bivariate. And for more than two variables, if you are observing more than two variables or characteristics in a group of population, in that case this data should be called multivariate data. This is the definition. Say univariate data set consists of the observations on a single variable. When observations are made on each of two variables, then we got the bivariate data set. Multivariate means when observations are made on more than one variable. Let's take some examples. So let's say in case of univariate dataset. So univariate data can be uh, of two types. Can be numerical, alright, can be numerical, and it can be categorical. Example is very simple. Let's say we are observing the group of students of a particular university. So numerical data should be their marks, and how we should express it within the parentheses. Let's say their marks like this way. Categorical, univariate categorical data means we are observing the data, we are observing the information for a single characteristics or for single variable. That is why this is univariate. Categorical means the information that we are observing is not numerical. Let's say their gender, male or female, their genders. Alright, now let's see what should be the example or scenario for the bivariate dataset. So in case of bivariate dataset, what can happen? In case of bivariate dataset, two things can happen. Say the dataset can be numerical and categorical. What I'm saying is, let's say for that group of students or objects that you have, you want to know the height and the weight for this individual student. Let's say you want to know the height and weight for that individual student. So in this case, see, this is numerical bivariate data. Means let's say their height is 187 centimeter and weight, let's say 79 kg. So this is a numerical bivariate data. So what it looks like, it is within the parentheses and this is separated by a comma, you see. So how we can express another type of bivariate data, where let's say the data can be a combination of numerical and categorical. Alright, numerical and categorical. Yeah. So the numerical and categorical data that you have, so what should be the example? Very easy. Let's say the numerical data that you are taking, that is their marks. Let's say 78, someone got 78 and that individual is a male. So here in this case also, for this group of population or this group of object, you are interested to understand or extract the information about two characteristics or two variables, that is the marks, in this case their marks and their gender. That is why this is bivariate data. So what bivariate data set it can happen, the data is both the data set is both the characteristics or variable is numerical, and it can happen that one is numerical and another one is our categorical. So I hope this is clear. Now let's take an example of multivariate dataset. Say in case of multivariate dataset, for that group of individual or group of population, you want to collect the informations about three different variables or characteristics. So if you are interested in three or more, let's say three or more different variables or characteristics, then in that case that should be considered as a multivariate data set. For an example, let's say you are trying to get their systolic blood pressure. Again, let's say their um, level of, let's say, cholesterol level in their blood, then their diastolic pressure. So let's say you are extracting these individual characteristics or characters from this group of individuals or sample. So you will get all these three as a numerical data. All right. So in case of multivariate data set, the numerical it can happen that the variables are multivariate numerical data sets, and also in case of multivariate numerical data set, the data can be a combination. The data can also be a combination of um, like bivariate data set. It can also be a combination of categorical and um, numerical data. All right, categorical and numerical data, multivariate data set. So thank you for watching this video.